Hey everyone, this is Ian Nazareth back at Metali. Today we have an amazing guest that I've been telling you about all week. This is officially episode 2 on the podcast. The first one was with Mr. Suresh Chavan. If you haven't watched that, please do so. Today our guest is actually a very familiar face in the IIF and on the Indian Foundry Industry. So if you're a person who's very active in Foundry forums and with the Foundry organization in India, you've probably seen her a couple of places. So she is the owner of not one but 2 foundries, and that is something she's going to talk about as well. She's also very influential and very motivating for younger people and getting them into the IIF. Like she played a very important example, getting me into the IIF, and that was really good. So I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Ruma Rao, and here she is.
Hello Ian, thank you very much for inviting in your company and to have a overall view of IIF. Thank you for the podcast.
You're officially the first guest in the studio.
Okay.
So I hope it's living up to the mark because I've only been recording single videos here. Anyway, so shall we begin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Ruma, everybody knows about you from the IIF. They know that you're running 2 really big good foundries. They know that you're very active, but where did it all begin? How did you get into the foundry industry, and who exactly got you in? How did you start? We'd like to learn a little bit about that background as well, right?
So to start with, before, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ruma Kinariwala Rao. I'm the director of Palm Alloy Steels Private Limited. We are based in Mumbai, and we are into manufacturing of ferrous as well as ferrous castings into carbon steel and stainless steel castings. And I have my other company by the name SR Steels, where we manufacture the valves which are generally used in the alumina industries, and also the pump spares and fully machined castings. So these are the 2 companies of which I am the owner and I am the director. And now your next question, what Ian has mentioned about my graduation, my education, and who brought me into IIF or who brought me into foundry industry. So to start with, I am MBA in finance, and after working for 4 to 5 years in a corporate firm like Morgan Stanley or other TCS, some other company, finally in the year 2010, I joined my father's business. So who brought me to foundry was my father, because foundry was in my blood. It was like bachpan se, shuruaat se, we know the foundry. We were on the shop floor, so we know how it works. But who brought actually into the professional world of foundry was my father.
Okay.
In the year 2011.
So I'm just going to stop you so we can go back a little bit, right?
Sure.
Because so when you talk about your education, you studied finance, right? So you had a background with Morgan Stanley. So how long were you with Morgan Stanley before you?
I was there with 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was where you started your career.
Right.
Okay. So to jump from finance to the foundry industry is a pretty big leap. So you already mentioned that your dad was influential in getting you to the foundry industry.
Right.
So how did he motivate you? How did he captivate you into joining the foundry? What was it that got your attention, got you to quit your job currently and change fields after 4-5 years of working?
It's the main catch was like, it's a business. It will be known by everybody.
Okay.
Like a woman is running the foundry because it's a male dominant industry.
Correct.
And I always want some or the other change because I can't stick at one place, and I was always fascinated with marketing, sales, which also include, because in my finance job I also looking after the marketing. So on that particular basis, he was the influential person, and the main thing just got catch, and I joined the foundry industry.
Okay. So basically her dad roped her in by using I think he played on the legacy part, right?
Right.
He said that we already have a business running, you need to take a part, and he also probably instigated you by saying you can be a foundry woman.
Right.
Because foundry women are not very common, as you guys know already. So that's also why you stand out. It could be one of your strengths.
Right.
So that's why she's known all over the place. She's one of the only foundry women in the Indian industry. So he gets you in. How old were you when you joined the foundry?
Do you want to tell my age?
Okay, that is taboo.
Or reveal my age.
Okay, fine. So you joined the Foundry at somewhere between 20s and 30s, right? Let's just put it there.
Yeah, 30s.
And and what was it like just getting to a new industry? Like, how did he get you in? How did he incorporate you into the business? What department did he start you in? Because that is, I think, what these guys want to know.
Yeah. So as even he used to look after the marketing part of our business. So I used to travel with him. I used to understand. I used to visit the clients, and I'm very social person. So I always love to meet people. So I always used to travel with him, and how he used to talk, how he used to elaborate about the business, what kind of products we manufacture. So the initial, I can say the couple of years, it was only about the learning stage, where wherever he used to go, I used to travel with him and learn more about the other business features and which other products we can add in our portfolio. Okay. So it was a learning stage for me.
So it was largely a relationship based in the beginning, right? That's how you started.
Right.
Okay, so you meet all these customers. You're now being introduced as the next line, the next generation.
Next generation.
And what are you feeling at this point? Like, how excited are you? Are you worried about the future? Are you worried about how you're going to step in his shoes? What is going on through your mind at this point of time?
No, it's really, I feel proud about it, because now people know by company name, and people know, okay, like she's there, who is a foundry woman, who is running the industry. So correct. I feel proud about it. Correct. See, there are always the challenges, but without challenges, there is no fun in business. So the challenges keep on coming, the hurdles, the hardships, or I can say the COVID time. The COVID has taught us everything.
Correct.
So COVID time has taught us. So there are a lot of challenges which the foundry industry right now is also facing.
So let's just quickly go to the background
Sure.
part. So now you're in the foundry industry, and your first year was completely with marketing and relationships.
Right.
So how long was it before you stepped into the technical part of the business?
So simultaneously, like when I used to travel with him for the product marketing, but after that, like I used to visit the factory also, because that's the main core. If I don't know what my product is there, how I can market the product.
Correct.
So I used to be at the factory. I used to learn like what exactly is the sand, कौन सा sand use करते हैं, या which type of product, how we do the mixing, and in terms of like what kind of process we follow. Because like bachpan se we were in the foundry industry, we used to go as a picnic for us. But when we are there on the shop floor, so that's a different challenge itself. So initially, like once I used to be on the marketing, other side, like I used to be on the shop floor. I used to speak with my workers कि इसको कैसे बना सकते हैं, इसको आप कैसे करते हो. So I used to learn with them, because they are the experienced people. Correct. They are on the shop floor. They are the experienced. They have that hands-on experience on the product. So I used to learn with them. Like कैसे करते हैं, किस तरह से करते हैं, इसको कैसे और improvise कर सकते हैं.
So were they ready to accept you in? Did you have some hardships with getting the workers to agree?
See, initially, like when I put forward, like when I joined the business and when I walked on the shop floor, so they were being reluctant या hesitant in Correct. Terms of, because like एक लड़की आ रही है, उनको हम कैसे बात कर सकते हैं. But as my nature, what I earlier mentioned, like I'm very extrovert, I don't go directly into the point of business. I talk about the other things कि परिवार में कौन है, किस हिसाब से है, आप कितने साल से काम करते हो. तो वो सब it feels like a family. It feels like a personal bond with them, and slowly they had a good rapport with me, and they started sharing what kind of business, what kind of like process they follow.
Correct. That's also very important. I think when you have two partners in a business, one needs to be very strict, one needs to be close to the workers. So there's always that sort of give and take approach, and they know whom to approach for in what situation. And also there's one person that keeps them disciplined, one person who can add the love and tender care part to the relationship. So I think that is why it worked pretty well. So that's good. So now you're professionally in the foundry. You're a foundry woman right now. What happens with the IIF? When did you join the IIF, and how did the IIF come to play its part that is very important for your life today?
As I mentioned, I entered foundry business my father had told me, and it was only because of him I have entered IIF, because he was the chairman. I used to attend the meetings
Okay,
when he was the
how
secretary.
long was this after you started?
So it was after 4 years.
Okay, so but
So
4 years you learned.
initially, yeah. So
then you joined
initially, I
IIF.
was not on the board. Initially, I was just like to attend the. I was just attending the meetings as some kind of Foundry Day celebration. It was a family gathering, so he used to take me to the family gatherings.
Correct.
So it was like in 2014 I joined IIF.
That's also a very important point. That is why when we have these NFT celebrations, you try to incorporate the family into
Family
the picture,
gatherings,
right?
yeah,
Because
right.
you never know what spark it may ignite in some maybe some child or somebody else, that they could actually join the foundry industry, because we are losing out a lot of generation to IT, to finance.
To
Almost got
finance.
her. So there's a lot of stealing and poaching going away from other industries, because it's not. Let's be honest. It's not it's not a very pretty industry.
Yeah, it's not a pretty
Right.
industry. It's not a, I can say, the rosy industry,
Correct.
not a blue collar industry, not like you need to sit in an AC and just work on the computer, not that kind of industry. But the fun on the shop floor is totally different. So we can't share our experience. We can't
Correct.
elaborate, yeah, we can speak about that experience.
Correct.
That's it.
Okay, so that brings you to IIF. So you were one of the first generation influencers in the foundry business, even if you know that or not, because not everybody is a type of personality who can go around, who can build connections across India as quickly as you can, and especially doing it at a time through IIF. I think many years ago, since when you started, because I think when I was learning in 2017-18, you were already very well established in the IIF, at least in GMC at that point of time. So that means you were a very early adopter to this type of marketing.
Right.
So that is something that just came naturally to you.
Yeah.
So you're taking it to a next level now. You've already been GMC chairman. You've gone to the Western region office bearers now.
Right.
So what's next? What's the next challenge you're looking at?
Right now, it should be focused more on the business as well as I can
She's
say.
focusing on the money part now. Okay.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
See, people keep on asking, the Indian Institute of Foundrymen, to be more specific, like why we attend, like what they give us. So it was a very good comment my father always used to tell, कि हर एसोसिएशन में हमेशा कुछ मिलता नहीं है. We are part of that association. We are a foundry, we are a foundryman, we are the part of that association. We should give to the industry. It's not always the mindset that you should take from the industry. Indirectly, you're getting the recognition. So what I can say in IIF, the second part, I can't leave IIF. It will be an ongoing journey with IIF.
Correct. So that's good.
Yeah.
So that covers your IIF part. Now on the business part, what are you doing to stay in touch with technology? Where is technology going? Because you're running 2 foundries at a time. It must be very hectic. So what is the difference between the two? What does palm alloys do compared to SR steels?
See, when I talk about palm alloy steels, so they make the unmachined castings, like the ferrous on the carbon steel and the stainless steel castings, and also on the shell molding castings. We undergo the process of shell molding also. But the main, when you talk about the technology, so as everybody knows how foundry works, still we are in that stage, like कि हमें सब खुद करना है. It's really becoming difficult right now also to accept the technology, but slowly, like we have the mixer, we have the spectrometer. So slowly, and even finance play a very important role, as everybody knows, like foundry industry, though it's considered to be the second largest industry, but when it talks about the finance, so it always laid back. So that's why we need to focus on, and we are working on the conglomerate industries. So we are focusing more on the heat treatment part, we are focusing more on the furnaces,
Value
on the
addition.
high nickel, and we are focusing more on the machine product, machine casting. So we are giving the machine casting. So this is like my what my company Palm Alloy Steels does. When I talk about my other company SR Steels, that's a complete machine product. So and plus the added advantage is the valves. where all the industries like alumina industries, when I talk about, which is once again the second largest industry. So we supply the fully tested, machined, assembled walls to them.
Correct.
And to add on with the added features, we give them the spares, which is very much important because the OEMs in terms of the lead time is very high, the cost wise is very high. So we help the client in providing the pump spares as well as their whatever they require as per their drawing.
I went to your website in the morning. I think you'll have a picture standing with these very big valves.
Yeah.
2 to 16-inch valves mentioned. Right. She has some clients mentioned there like Aditya Birla.
Right.
So they're doing really great stuff.
Yeah.
Check
We
out
have
the website.
received the esteemed vendor from Aditya Birla also.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can see. I mean, this is just something I noticed. There's a very, very high presence of women workforce in your company. Because I saw there was a photo of the staff and almost 30-40% were women in that photo.
Yeah, almost like the accountant and
Correct.
the other, they are women.
So that is Foundrywomen in action for you guys. Anyway, Ruma, this has been really great talking to you. Thank you for making it. Thank you for being guest number 2 on the podcast.
Thank you, Ian, for giving me an opportunity.
So, Ruma, where can we find you on social platforms?
I'm available on LinkedIn. I'm available on Instagram.
So we are going to put her LinkedIn account in the bottom, a link to it. You still have to request for connection, and then she will approve you based on her choice. So, but that's where you can contact her. LinkedIn. Is there your websites? SR Steels.
Yeah.
Palm Alloys. We'll put the links into the description as well.
Right.
And thank you so much, Ruma.
Thank you very much.
So, guys, I hope you're enjoying episode 2 on the podcast. I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are making it, because it's really, really amazing talking to guests who are really influential, who are doing really great work in the foundry industry. And that is exactly what this platform is about. So thank you so much for joining. Remember to like and subscribe if you're here for the first time, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.